course, there are a lot of people of my status
You are not
that are even left as lieutenant colonel, that are even left as majors. You see, let us not bring sentiment to this thing.
But that is the problem.
Yes, you know, there are some people from my side too that left as major general, my colleagues too.
You have not answered my question. My question is,
I've answered you. I said the standard after you have reached the rank of colonel, it is politics now this time around and law.
But that is
not that. Yes.
And you know that it is the something in the educational system that is what we call the quota system in Nigeria. So how do you address that? And how do you think that the northern Nigeria are going to agree to the quota system? Now, the president is from your own tribe, and they are trying to bring a tax bill. Do you know the people that are rejecting the tax bill? There is no single governor from the southern Nigeria. Only the northern Nigeria governors have rejected the bill, and they have dropped it. So how do you fix a system like that? You see, it is no point wasting your time, your resources, your energy, and your life trying to save a failing marriage. And this marriage is not even a willing marriage. It was a marriage that was forced by the barrels of the gun. So now we are saying we are not ready to try again. And we are ready to bring everything down. As you are looking at me, I am ready to burn down Nigeria for the interest and the life of my people. And if I have the opportunity today, I will order the burning down from Aso Rock, because that's where the killings of my people are being planned. I will bring it down. And the law they have is that I don't have a nuclear weapon or a ballistic missile yet. But if I have it, I will start from Aso Rock, because that is where the terrorism against my people are being planned. Once Aso Rock is down, everybody will rest. I will begin to discuss the peace.
All right, Denny, we'll get another chance to have this conversation.
Simon Ekpa, the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, gave an excellent response to a retired Nigerian soldier who told him to drop Biafra agitation and support Nigeria so that the Nigerian government can look into the problem of ethnic marginalization and make every ethnic group in Nigeria equal. He stated that the Constitution of Nigeria can be amended to accommodate the Igbos and fulfill all their requests, which is fueling secession. However, Simon Ekpa emphasizes that Nigeria's systemic problems cannot be resolved even with constitutional amendments or better governance, citing structural and ideological issues. He asserts that Nigeria's framework inherently prevents equitable governance and representation. However, the retired Nigerian soldier challenges this stance, suggesting that reforming Nigeria's constitution to address governance and representation issues could mitigate the challenges, thereby eliminating the need for secession. He proposes a restructured system to accommodate all ethnic groups. Simon Ekpa, however, dismisses constitutional reform as insufficient, citing historical and systemic failures in respecting existing constitutional provisions. He argues that the northern elites and their dominance in governance exacerbates Nigeria's issues, making coexistence unattainable. Simon Ekpa claims that the southeastern region and other minorities have been systematically excluded from power and resources in Nigeria. He further alleged that Nigeria's leadership fosters systemic exploitation rather than addressing citizens' needs. He also views that the current constitution lacks mechanism to reflect the country's diversity and protect rights equitably. His statement about destroying Nigerian structures and its readiness for extreme measure reflect the depth of frustration among pro-Biafran agitators. This rhetoric underscores the potential for escalating conflicts if grievances remain unaddressed. The conversation highlights the entrenched division in Nigeria, with calls for restructuring, decentralization, or outright dissolution gaining traction in various regions. While some, like the Nigerian retired soldiers, advocate constitutional reforms, others, like Simon Ekpa, see no path forward within the Nigerian state. According to Simon Ekpa, Nigeria has expired, and anything that has expired should be discarded and thrown away into the dustbin. These debates are intensified by historical grievances, economic disparities, and ethnic tensions. This discourse underscores the urgent need for inclusive dialogue addressing Nigeria's unity, governance, and regional autonomy to avoid escalating unrest. It was a regular day when an extraordinary conversation unfolded during a live broadcast. Simon Ekpa, the outspoken Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, found himself face to face visually with a retired Nigerian soldier. The soldier, a man who had served Nigeria with pride and seen many of its challenges, had one pressing question for Simon Ekpa. Why not drop the Biafra agitation? He asked, his voice steady but filled with a mix of curiosity and frustration. What if Nigeria's constitution was changed? What if governance improved and every ethnic group was treated fairly? Wouldn't that solve the problem? Simon Ekpa listened, his expression betraying no surprise. He had heard this argument countless times before, but this time he was ready to respond with a kind of clarity that comes from years of conviction. The retired Nigerian soldier, having seen the ups and downs of Nigeria firsthand, believed in the possibility of change. To him, Nigeria was like a ship caught in a storm. It was battered and broken, but not beyond repair. He argued that the country's challenges, from corruption to ethnic marginalization, could be addressed with the right leadership and structural reforms. Simon Ekpa, he began, his tone measured. The problem isn't Nigeria as a country, it is the way it is governed. If we rewrite the constitution to include everyone's interest, if we decentralize power, and if we ensure fair representation, we can fix this. We don't need to tear the country apart. We don't need to go our separate way. We don't need division. We need to work together to make Nigeria great again. The soldier spoke of his own efforts to contribute to this vision. He mentioned a draft constitution he had personally worked on, a document he believed could be the foundation for a new Nigeria. In his eyes, Biafra's agitation was rooted in legitimate grievances, but secession wasn't the solution. Reform is the only solution, the Nigerian army stated. Why destroy what can be rebuilt? He asked earnestly. We are stronger together, he stated. Simon Ekpa's reply came swiftly, cutting through the soldier's hopeful vision like a knife. Nigeria, he began, is not a country you can fix. It was never designed to work. He paused, letting the weight of his words sink in. Then he went on to explain his point of view. To Simon Ekpa, the problem wasn't just bad governance or an outdated constitution. It was the very structure of Nigeria from its inception. He argued the country was built on a foundation of inequality and exploitation. The system is rigged, he said bluntly. Even if you bring Jesus Christ himself to govern Nigeria, he wouldn't succeed. That is how deeply flawed it is. Simon Ekpa spoke with the passion of someone who has spent years analyzing the country's issues. He pointed to the dominance of the northern elites, whom he claimed had monopolized power and resources for decades. This imbalance, he argued, wasn't just a coincidence, it was backed into the system. The soldier wasn't ready to give up so easily. He pushed back, drawing on his own experiences to argue that change was possible. He admitted that Nigeria had deep-rooted problems, but he believed they weren't insurmountable. Simon Ekpa, he said, I have served this country. I have seen its flaws, yes, but I have also seen its potential. If we can fix the system, if we can create a fair constitution, why can't we all live together in peace? The soldier shared personal anecdotes about his time in the military. He spoke of colleagues from various regions who had worked together, united by a common goal. To him, this was proof that Nigeria's diversity wasn't its weakness, it was its strength. Simon Ekpa, however, wasn't convinced. He argued that diversity without justice and equity was meaningless. He talks about unity. He said, but unity without fairness is just oppression. He painted a stark picture of what he called the systemic exclusion of the Southeast and other minority groups. He described how people from his region were often passed over for promotions, denied access to resources, and treated as second-class citizens. Tell me, Simon Ekpa asked pointedly, if you, with all your qualifications and experience, were from the north, would you have retired at the same rank? The soldier hesitated. He knew where Simon Ekpa was going with this. He eventually admitted that disparities in opportunities did exist, but he insisted that this could be addressed through systemic reform. Simon Ekpa shook his head. You see, he said, this isn't just about governance or law. This is about a mindset, a system that has been rigged against my people for decades. Why should we keep trying to fix something that was designed to fail us? The conversation then turned to the Constitution itself. The soldier, who had spent years thinking about Nigeria's challenges, believed that the 1999 Constitution was a major part of the problem. He argued that rewriting it could address many of the grievances fueling the Biafra agitation. But Simon Ekpa dismissed this idea outright. The 1999 Constitution already has provisions for equality and justice, he said. Have those provisions been respected? What makes you think a new one will be? He pointed out that Nigeria had a long history of ignoring its own laws. This isn't about the words on paper, he said. It is about a system that doesn't respect its own rules. Why should I trust a government that has consistently exploited my people? As the debate wore on, Simon Ekpa's frustration became more evident. He spoke of the deep pain and anger felt by the people of the Southeast, who he believed had been systematically oppressed for decades. His voice grew louder, his tone more defiant. We are done trying, he declared. This marriage is over. It was forced upon us. and it has brought nothing but misery to my people. He didn't stop there. Simon Ekpa went on to say that he was ready to dismantle Nigeria's structures entirely if that is what it took to secure Biafran independence. If I had the power, he said, I would start with Aso Rock, burn it down, because that is where the operation is planned. His words were shocking, but they reflected the depth of frustration among pro-Biafran agitators. To them, Nigeria wasn't just a failing state, it was an oppressive one. The retired Nigerian soldier, though shaking, wasn't ready to give up. He made one last appeal, urging Simon Ekpa to consider the long-term consequences of secession. He warned that even if Biafra were to become independent, it wouldn't be immune to the challenges Nigeria faces today. You talk about breaking away, he said, but what happens next? Ethnic tensions, power struggles, resource allocation. These problems doesn't disappear with a new flag. Simon Ekpa listened but remained unmoved. The difference, he said, is that we would finally have control over our destiny. We will build a system that works for us, not one imposed by outsiders or dominated by others. This heated exchange wasn't just a debate between two individuals. It was a microcosm of the larger struggle playing out across Nigeria. One side are those who believe in the possibility of reform, a new Nigeria where every ethnic group feels included and represented. On the other side are those who have lost faith entirely and believe that the only solution is to start over. The debate is further complicated by historical grievances, economic disparities, and ethnic tensions. Some argue for restructuring, others for decentralization, and still others like Simon Ekpa for outright secession. As the conversation drew to a close, it was clear that no consensus would be reached that day. The retired Nigerian soldier and Simon Ekpa represented two different visions for Nigeria's future, visions shaped by their own experiences and beliefs. What remains clear is that Nigeria is at a crossroads. The choices made in the coming years will determine whether it can remain a united nation or if it will fracture into smaller states. For now, the debate rages on, with voices like Simon Ekpa refusing to be silenced. And as long as these grievances remain unaddressed, the question of Nigeria's future will continue to dominate the national conversation. I'll play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself.
Want a better Nigeria. Now what I want to ask you is this, Simon. If today we have a better system of government, are you hearing me? A better system of government that is taking care of both the welfare of the people and the security of the people across the country. Are you going to change your mind about Biafra? Because the problem in the country, let me just finish, because the problem in the country today is just bad governance. If we have a better system of governance that make institutions to work at local government level, where the basic amenities, basic services are provided to the people, education, healthcare, affordable foodstuff, good living condition, where all those basics are provided, and at the center, people are well represented across the country, so that nobody will talk of marginalization. Are you going to change your mind about Biafra?
No.
Why?
Right,
because Biafra is looking for a better government.
Yeah, let me explain to you. Because, okay. this thing you are saying is not possible under Nigeria structure. Even if are you a Christian or Muslim?
I'm a Christian.
Even if you bring Jesus Christ to come and govern Nigeria, he can never change anything. Because even as Jesus Christ was born, he was crucified and killed by people. Now, Nigeria was not structured to provide these things and this leadership we are talking about. And that is the problem of many of you, because if you understand the problem of Nigeria, you will be in the forefront like Sunday Igboho fighting for the liberation of Yoruba people. But because you do not understand that, that's why you are here to tell me if this work, if this happened, if this... where are you going to start?
Okay, let me just answer you. Because me, I have gone too far. I have seen a lot in the country, and I have been trained to the highest level of administration in the country as a retired senior army officer. I looked at the problem of the country and I decided to come up with a new constitution for Nigeria. I don't know if you can see a copy here. I came up with a constitution that takes care of all the tribes, all the what do you call it? All the groups in Nigeria.
Please, if you are going to ever go visit Southeast, don't have your ID card though.
If what?
Don't ever go to Southeast with your ID card if you are in Nigeria Army.
No, I know there's problem in the Southeast now. We are trying to.
I'm just advising you as person.
No, I understand you. We are trying to solve problems now. You know one thing, Simon. When we got independence, we had problem in Nigeria when we were running parliamentary system. And how did the problem happen? The problem happened in the western part of the country. Today, if any group or any region decide to secede from Nigeria and you don't have the right system of government, the same problem we are facing in Nigeria today, we will face it in any of the regions.
Okay, so you believe the problem of Nigeria is in the constitution?
Of course, that's why I have to write the new constitution.
But that is not true.
Let me explain.
Adeni, we have less than 10 minutes and there are 3 more people left. So
let me address him, because his argument is based on the constitution, that he claimed that once he presents this constitution, Nigeria will work. Now let me address him. The problem of Nigeria is not constitution. And when I listen to people talking about 1999 constitution as a problem, I just laugh at them. The 1999 constitution has a provision where they recognize a lot of rights. So have they respected that? There are provisions for Nigerians that are protected under this constitution of 1999. Have they respected that?
That's what I'm saying. Now there are a lot of loopholes.
Why are you bringing another constitution when they have not respected the one they have?
That's what I'm saying. If the one that bringing is respected and it is practiced, it will cater for all the regions.
That's what I'm telling you. Let them respect what they have first, which they have not respected. So what do you think?
That one cannot work. I'm not in support of 1999 constitution. It has a lot of.
But it is working to some extent. It is working on this exclusive.
No, working for to the realites. They are exploiting the loopholes to do things for their benefit.
That's what I'm saying. That if
you and I, if you and I together now fight the loopholes, are able to block those loopholes and come with the right condition for the country will move on. Because if you go Biafra now and I go Oduduwa, and at the end of the day we don't have the right constitution for our various groups, we will still be fighting each other.
No, you understand me? That is the point, because the Nigeria problem is not in the constitution. It's an ideological, let me tell you now, it's a historical, ideological, and a religious problem. So, and this cannot be solved under the current mentality that Nigeria has for many decades. It's a historic problem. So, as you are now as a military personnel, you know how you serve Nigeria, and then you compare it to the people in your status that are from the northern Nigeria. Which rank did you attain before you retired?
I think it was a colonel, but if you want.
Let's say it was a colonel. Now I will ask him. You didn't think that if he is from the northern Nigeria and have probably the kind of education he has acquired under Nigeria military, he will retire as a colonel? It's a question.
Yeah. You see, if there are a lot of things happening.
Just yes, it is possible, or no, it is not possible. As you are now a Yoruba man, You served in the army and retired as a colonel. And before retirement, you have acquired a lot of education, including training. I'm asking you now, you are from northern Nigeria. Will you retire with your experience and education? Will you retire as a colonel?
Of course, there are a lot of people of my status
You are not
that are even left as lieutenant colonel, that are even left as majors. You see, let us not bring sentiment to this thing.
But that is the problem.
Yes, you know, there are some people from my side too that left as major general, my colleagues too.
You have not answered my question. My question is,
I've answered you. I said the standard after you have reached the rank of colonel, it is politics now this time around and law.
but that
It is not that. Yes.
And you know that it is the something in the educational system that is what we call the quota system in Nigeria. So how do you address that? And how do you think that the northern Nigeria are going to agree to the quota system? Now, the president is from your own tribe, and they are trying to bring a tax bill. Do you know the people that are rejecting the tax bill? There is no single governor from the southern Nigeria. Only the northern Nigeria governors have rejected the bill, and they have dropped it. So how do you fix a system like that? You see, it is no point wasting your time, your resources, your energy, and your life trying to save a failing marriage. And this marriage is not even a willing marriage. It was a marriage that was forced by the balance of the gun. So now we are saying we are not ready to try again. And we are ready to bring everything down. As you are looking at me, I am ready to burn down Nigeria for the interest and the life of my people. And if I have the opportunity today, I will order the burning down from Aso Rock, because that's where the killings of my people are being planned. I will bring it down. And the law they have is that I don't have a nuclear weapon or a ballistic missile yet. But if I have it, I will start from Aso Rock, because that is where the terrorism against my people are being planned. Once Aso Rock is down, everybody will rest. I will begin to discuss the peace.
All right, Denny, we'll get another chance to have this conversation.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.